Okay, Keir, so it wasn't a performance to remember today. A bit of a flat game, but we come away with the 3 points, a bit of a job done. First off, you must be relieved after that.
Yeah, really tough game. I thought Chipping Sodbury obviously came with a game plan today. Played 5 at the back, sat in, defended for long periods, and we got the opener, which we probably deserved based on the balance of play and chances created and just the constant pressure that we put on. Bathy with another goal, been really important with some goals over the last couple of weeks, and took it really well. And after that, it like you said, wasn't one for the purists, but tough pitch conditions, really difficult. Boys dug in, grounded out a 1-0, and over the course of the season, I think if you look at probably how many clean sheets we've kept, I think we've still got one of the best defensive record in the league, if not the best. And today that was evident. We were so good defensively. My whole back four and Brownie, but especially Keats and Coops, their partnership that they've put together now since Keats has signed has been absolutely outstanding, and they both were absolutely man mountains today. I couldn't pick between them for man of the match, either of those two. But not just our back four defensively, really strong, but everyone who played today and the guys that came on, outstanding about the football. And that's the biggest thing for me. When you're not playing well, that everyone puts in a shift, works together, pulls in graphs one out, and that's what it was today. So no problems with not being at our best as long as we continue to work that hard.
Towards the end of the game, frustration was bubbling a little bit, both from yourself and players on the pitch. Was there a little bit of a worrying niggle that it could be a repeat of the long 11s result?
Yeah, again, like once you've conceded late on, like we did against long 11s, it can happen. But over the course of the season, I think that's probably only happened maybe once or twice. We conceded really late on, so it's not like a habit that we're into. But always when it's just at 1-0 and in the last couple of minutes we're ticking on, just to make sure that the boys were staying on it to the last whistle. Hopefully, like the motivation and the enthusiasm that I produced from the bench sometimes rubs off on them, and that was my thinking of just making sure that we were on it and at it right the way through until the whistle. But I think maybe they had one header the whole game that was quite close to hitting the target, but I obviously don't know the exact stats, but I'd be interested to see how many shots on target and off target they had, if maybe a couple, if that. And first half we'd had missed 2 or 3 golden opportunities, and second half we had a couple of good half chances as well. Not at our best, as you said, going forward, didn't create loads, but still enough to win the game. So I think on the balance of play that no one can argue with that. And then we finished the month now because we didn't have a game next week with back-to-back results, and I think that was really important for our league form. We obviously had the disappointment to long 11s, and since then we've gone and won 3 on the bounce. And I think you look how close the league table is. I think as long as you can bounce back after a bad result like we have done, then you're not going to find yourself too far away from that top 4 come the end of the season. And now I think we move up into 3rd after that result. So yeah, delighted.
Yeah, just as you were saying, results seem to have gone our way today, and we're up into 3rd. A couple of weeks ago, you were saying that maybe we weren't going to be quite good enough to be in the promotion spots. Does that change today, or is it still too early to say?
I think if you look at the form of Westbury and Bradford at the moment, gunning for that 2nd spot, or if you even look at Bradford, they're probably the only teams that can catch the leaders at the moment. And you know, I think that we're not quite as good as those 2 teams at the moment, and always compare that locally, because that's what we do. We're all in Wiltshire together, and I'm sure Westfields will have a lot to say about the outcome. I know Malvern have been on a little bit of a tough run recently, but Long Levens have probably been the informed side up until today, so I think there's loads that can happen. Brim's going to have a fantastic win today after a disappointing result last week, so we all look at each other's results. We all look around at full time to see who's got on where, but I think it's so close from 2nd down to 8th that if you can go on a good run from now to the end of the season, who knows? But I think that the good runs are happening elsewhere. Obviously, we have probably only lost once in maybe, I don't know, since Bishop's Cleeve away. So that's a long time with only one loss. But again, like we aren't blowing teams away every single week. Whereas you see in that every time I look at Bradford or Westbury, I feel that they can't lose. So, they've got to play each other in a couple of weeks, and that might be a chance for us just to shift some momentum. But at the minute, I think we're just outside of those two and Bishop's Cleeve, but. Who knows to the end of the season? We just keep taking care of our own house, and that's the only thing that we can do from now to the end of the season. If we do our bit, and then you can have your fingers crossed elsewhere. But that's the only thing that we're looking to do now. We can't rely on other people to do us favours, because they won't. Take care of our results, take care of our performances, make sure we're still hungry. And if it's not happening for us this season to get into that top four, then we'll make sure that we're ready over the next year or so to make a real challenge for it. But I think if you look at how many times we spoke this season, I'm just talking about progression and the squad that I started with when I took over compared to what's out there now week in, week out. That's the way it is. I like it that everyone's competing for places. The squad's probably the strongest it's probably ever been at Corsham now. So if we can just make sure that we stick together as a team, as a unit, and over the next 18 months to 2 years and see where that takes us. But I'm really enjoying my time here. We've had a really positive first season at this higher level, and we can finish the season strongly, then who knows? You never know.
And next up is Brimscombe and Thrupp. I mean, going there on a Saturday is tough enough as is, but we go there midweek. Another tough test for us. What are your thoughts going into that one?
Yeah, and comprehensively beat early on in the season by them 4-1. I know our squad's got better and they've been in and out of form a little bit, but going there midweek's always going to be tough. But it comes with the territory at this standard. So, I think, again, if we turn up like anyone we've played this season, you have a look at some of our results. If we are at it and the boys fancy it and we can field a really strong side like we have done the last couple of weeks, then I always fancy us to give anyone a game. But we're coming into that business end of the season now, and we've got to play, I think, maybe 4, 5, 6 of the top 10 still. We've got to play Malvern twice. There's sides that have been at this level for a long, long time. So we can be respectful of them, but make sure we go there to whoever we play and give a good account of ourselves. And we have done for 99% of this season. So if we continue to do that, then I always fancy us with a chance of winning.
And lastly, turning attention back to today's game, who was your man of the match?
I couldn't pick between Keatsy and Coops today. I honestly, they were just absolutely outstanding vocally, as leaders, coming through, winning headers, squeezing us up the pitch, making sure that we come away with the 3 points today. And that's been the partnership over the last, how many games Keats has come in and played. I think Wootton Bassett might have been his debut. So since then, conceded very little goals with those two as a partnership and won lots and lots of games. So if that can continue and we build from that base, then we've always got a chance. But defensively, absolutely outstanding today. So couldn't pick between those two.